Welcome to the show, Seho. Can you start by introducing yourself a little bit? Who are you? What do you do? And how long have you been doing it?
All right. So my name is Seho. I live in Chicago. I work at a company called Rally Health. It's a healthcare technology company. We make healthcare platforms to healthcare users. And what I do there is I'm a full stack software engineer. So I do back end and front end, sometimes CI/CD. Like I touch Jenkins sometimes.
Mhm.
So I'm a full stack engineer there. And then I've been working here for 2 years, almost 2 years and a half. Um, yeah,
Nice. So, how did you get into software development in the first place? Do you have any experience before you got this job?
yeah. Before this, I did 3 internships.
Hmm.
One at my first internship was at Morningstar. It's an investment research company. So if you're investing, sometimes maybe if you use Robinhood, I don't know if you guys use Robinhood, but there's a Morningstar rate and that kind of stuff, right? Morningstar does
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
I was interning there.
Uh-huh.
I did web development there,
Hmm.
and then my second internship was at Vibes Media. So what Vibes Media do is they send text messages on behalf of their business clients. For example, like if you have a burrito Chipotle account, Chipotle might
Hmm.
send you like, okay, we have a discount, that kind of text messages, right? Vibes
Hmm.
Media did that kind of stuff. So I was a data engineering intern there. So I built some ETL processes, data pipelines, and that kind of stuff. Worked on the databases. That was fun.
Hmm.
My code was actually got deployed on production. So actually people use the code.
Hmm.
Sometimes for interns that usually sometimes don't happen. They build an internship project and nobody ever uses us.
Hmm.
But it was cool. So my
Yeah, that's
third,
amazing.
yeah, my third internship was at Motorola Solution.
Hmm.
I was an Android developer there, and I built some test environment. Yeah,
Nice. That's really
that's
cool.
what
So
I
this
did.
is really your first full-time job in software development?
Yes, yes.
Nice. Okay. How does
So
it compare, by the way? Like, how is it like being a software engineer in healthcare versus in, for instance,
the other.
investment banking?
Okay, so it's really hard to say
Mm-hmm.
that I experienced investment banking, like work experience, because I kind of built the like internship project, not a like real project. So it's kind of hard to say that I have experienced that investment bank, because my project wasn't really super relevant. I built an admin page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, what are the differences? Oh, so yeah, healthcare industry. I'll talk about healthcare industry a little bit. Uh,
Okay.
right now, I'm working on the backend side and front end side, and we deal with a lot of like healthcare related data, and these data are like confidentials. So and then we have to always encrypt and hide all of these really sensitive healthcare related data. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's HEPA, right? Health um, health related information. So yeah, working in this healthcare industry, you have to kind of cautious about like how you make HTTP call, like what's in the call.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, those kind of a security concern, and uh, we have to deal with a lot of um, privacy. We have to make an effort to protect those privacies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the differences, I think. I mean, of course, at Morningstar, Motorola Solution, at Vibes, probably they had also like private data and confidentials,
Mm-hmm.
but at healthcare we deal with specifically healthcare related data,
Mm-hmm.
and if you if you make mistake and it's a big deal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
that's the
So in our
differences.
experience is are healthcare companies much more aware of development security than others? That's very interesting. How much does security take up your day-to-day job, by the way?
Not that much,
Mm-hmm.
because we have a lot of wrapper code. So for example, we have wrappers around controller services and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
securities is actually like already dealt with in that wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm actually writing code, I might, not really care about that security. I mean, I do, but it's already built in the code block libraries that we are already using. So yeah, um, there was an interesting discussion. It was about, so usually in RESTful API, when you want to get the information, you do get request. But when you do the get request, sometimes you attach some specific information on the URL. But
Right.
but that information on that URI, sometimes there might be some sensitive data. So sometimes you change get request to post request to actually get something. Yeah, they kind of work around. I think that's also that was interesting to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Am I
sure.
talking too much?
No, not at all. So what would you say is like the most difficult part of having a development job in healthcare? Aside from, having to deal with security, maybe more than the average developer.
Oh, so yeah, just development side. I don't think there is a like really special like hardship because I'm in the healthcare. Okay, one thing that I can think about is that we are a healthcare technology company, and in order to make anything related healthcare stuff, like for example, like displaying drugs data or showing the prices and all this stuff, actually requires a lot of data from other big healthcare industry. For example, drug prices have it really depending on your insurance coverages.
Yeah,
and your insurance.
exactly.
As a startup, you can't build anything without knowing those kind of insurance related data. So we are heavily depending on these really big corporations like Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, and stuff like that. And then how we work is different, right? We need their data, we need their cooperation to build like a healthcare products based on that. So we need a lot of collaborations, and because how we work and how we operate is very different, that's sometimes there's a conflict and then miscommunications and that kind of stuff happen. So that's from the product side. And then for engineering side, because we are heavily relying on their own APIs, because we are getting information from those Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Healthcare APIs, when they're down, we're down.
Yeah.
So that kind of dependencies it give us a lot of challenges. For example, like when their API is down, what do we do, right? Like, what do we do with cache data? Like, okay, maybe we can work around with data that we cached, or yeah, some stuff like that. That's an engineering challenge, I think.
Yeah, that's really cool. So a lot of like technical challenges in dealing with, asynchronous data fetching, basically. That's really cool. Does it happen a lot, by the way? Like the APIs being down?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it happens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's complicated. Healthcare is
Mhm.
really, really, really complicated.
Mhm.
United Healthcare owns a bunch of other companies
Mhm.
that do something with that really sensitive healthcare data, right? So we are
Right.
relying upon on multiple companies, different kind of APIs, and sometimes your service doesn't work when one of them is down or something like that.
Mhm.
But that kind of things happen, and then we would have to monitor that, and then we would have to recognize which um, upstream APIs are down, servers are
Mhm.
down. Then we recognize that, and then we tell them, hey, your things are broke, go fix it, and that kind of stuff. So uh, I think that's interesting challenges for us actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
it happens a lot. Yeah.
So what is like your day-to-day job like?
So day-to-day job. So before coronavirus,
Mhm.
uh, I went into office like maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and then I
Uh-huh.
get there like at 10. No. I get there at 8 to 9, and then we have a stand up at 10, and then we talk about like what we did yesterday and what we're gonna do today.
Mhm.
The general Scrum stuff,
Yeah.
what's blocking us, and then after that, I pick up tickets and implement the tickets, and or most of the time clarify what the requirements actually is to tech manager or product manager, because most
Mhm.
of the times, um, no matter how you describe it perfectly, there might be some miscommunications, and there are a lot of times that you would have to really clarify what they really want to build. So
Mhm.
spend time talking to product managers, tech managers, and build a product. I mean, write code. And when I have some time, I try to review other people's code as much as possible.
Mhm.
That's most of the uh, day as a software engineer there.
Mhm. And what what was the process like for you to get this software engineering job in the first place?
Oh, you mean like recruiting and getting hired? And
Yeah, like how did you decide to, for instance, become a software engineer in
am I?
this field? And
Uh-huh.
how do you decide on this job and what's the process of getting it?
Okay. All right. So career perspective. Um, so there was a career fair in my school. I went
Hmm.
to University of Illinois at Chicago, not Urbana-Champaign. It's in
Hmm.
downtown Chicago.
UIC,
UIC,
not UIUC.
not UIC. I
Yeah.
don't want to go in the middle of cornfield. So my school was in the downtown.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hmm.
And UIUC actually better school. But anyway, so I had we have had a career fair. Yeah, if you're thinking about becoming getting a job as a developer, go to career fair. So I met a bunch of employers there. So Rally Health was there,
Hmm.
right next to Optum. Optum is like a company that actually acquired Rally Health. So I talked to recruiters there, and recruiter scheduled on technical interview, and then I passed the technical interview and chose Rally. And when I was um, trying to get a job, full-time job, I interviewed with a bunch of other companies, Blue
Hmm.
Cross Blue Shield, um, and I Manage, and there are a bunch of other companies. But Rally Health offer was really high.
Hmm.
Considering that I live in Midwest, offer was great, and then the other benefits were great, so I chose Rally.
Nice. I mean, that's pretty cool. What was your technical interview like, by the way? Because I've never actually, as a developer, I've never went through a technical interview actually.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Lucky
I've always
you.
just used my projects as my
Mhm.
resume.
Lucky you. Technical interview sucks.
What was it like? I'm really curious.
I mean, I mean, obviously I passed the coding interview, so I got the job.
Yeah, you did pretty well, right?
Yeah,
That's what it means.
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So right after the career fair, they scheduled like really kind of short like interview. Like I think it lasted like 45 minutes
Mhm.
in the campus.
Oh, right away?
Yeah, right away the next day. Yeah. So that was good. That was
Uh-huh.
good. Yeah. Um, During the technical interview, they asked, we talked about like what I did, what I made for side projects, and um, the recruiter, I mean the engineer manager. So he was software engineering manager. He said, "Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that's cool." After briefly talking about like our stuff, like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we jumped
Mhm.
into the technical interview right away. He gave me some coding interview. I'm not supposed to talk about what the problem was. Um, Gave me some sort of a liquid medium
Mhm.
question, and then I
Mhm.
had to solve it. While you're solving it, you kind of talk through what your thought processes are, how you're gonna solve it, and then you solve it, and then you talk about time complexity and space complexity and all that stuff.
Mhm. Right.
And then yeah, keep talking about edge cases and what the interviewer is thinking
Mhm.
about. Like sometimes he pointed out, oh, like why did you choose this data structure? Why did you choose this way? And that way, like I had to answer that. And then at the end, I could actually run the code. Of course, there's always bugs, and then you clean up the bugs
Mhm.
and going through like test cases um,
Mhm.
by talking like, oh, if I input like A and B, like it goes through this code and it becomes CD, and then that's why it's
Mhm.
like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it was. Yeah,
Is it like a whiteboarding situation, or did you type directly in the?
I typed directly on the laptop. They
Uh-huh.
they brought laptop. They
Uh-huh.
brought laptop, and then there was some sort of coding problem platform. I don't remember the name of the platform,
Mhm.
and then I had to code there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and also most of the times they don't have a compiler. Like I don't really remember they had like IDE integration like help. Like for example, like if you tap through it, you can see all the methods and functions names, or
Mhm.
like you can refer to. I don't remember if they had it, but most of the times I remember that for coding interview, um, when you're coding on that platform, there's nothing much help. Like there's no autocorrect
Yeah.
or stuff like that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
know
There's
your
no tab
syntax. Yeah.
completion.
Yeah. Right. Like
Mhm.
all the
Yeah.
modern IDE has it, like,
Oh, did they just throw you on like a plain text editor?
yeah, I think it was kind of
Mhm.
plain text editor. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. And
Actually, for
mhm.
Google interview, you have to code on the Google Doc.
Oh,
Yeah.
without syntax highlighting and all that.
No.
Oh no.
Sometimes it autocorrects, like your capital, like it capitalizes things. It's so annoying.
Do you know that's a thing they're still doing?
I think they're still doing it
Uh-huh.
like that. Yeah. When I had a Google
Okay.
interview, when I had
Uh-huh.
an interview with Google, I had to code on the Google Doc, like seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's
That's
just
very difficult.
rough.
Maybe it's just like a scare tactic to like see how
Yeah,
calm you
maybe.
can remain in a
Yeah.
Google Doc.
Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But now we know if we're interviewing for Google, we need to
Yeah.
practice on a Google
Practice on
Doc.
the Google Doc. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, to be
I
honest, I don't
mean,
know like if that
mhm.
is really efficient way, like good way to actually interview people. But anyway, Google does it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I imagine it's probably easier than whiteboarding still, right? Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think the issue with whiteboarding is that
Mhm.
you are facing the whiteboard and you're writing code, and then a bunch of people are just behind you and judging your code. Whereas
Right.
I think
Yeah,
when you're
judging.
typing in a Google Doc, there isn't that much of a, of a spectator kind of feeling.
Right, right,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
there's
but
a
the
point.
autocorrect thing is crazy.
Yeah, I know. So make sure you turn off like there's a there's a functionality on Google Doc. You can actually turn off you know how like computer converts small letter to capital letter, like
Right.
the first letter. Yeah,
Mhm.
turn that off before the interview. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter because it's not like we are running the code on the Google Doc.
Yeah.
But if it keeps changing it while when you're coding, it's annoying. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Right. So for the 45 minutes of technical interview, did you just go through one question in
Oh,
detail?
oh, sorry, I had to. There were two questions.
Uh-huh.
One was really easy. One was easier, and then like I would say like LeetCode easy, and
Mhm.
the other one was like LeetCode medium maybe. Yeah.
Mhm. Gotcha. Do you have any other like career advice or tidbits for people who want to work in software engineering?
Yeah. Um, right now, I mean there is a like really general advice, but I want to talk about as there are more students and companies don't really want to hire junior engineers. Actually, they
Mhm.
prefer like people with 2 years or 3 years of experience.
Mhm.
It's getting harder to really getting into engineering positions.
Mhm.
The competitions are getting harder and harder. Um, so my advice is that um, build your couple side projects because
Mhm.
not that many people actually have side projects. It's actually surprising. The people are in CS pretty busy. You know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of homework, and after homework, it's really hard to make time to build like some sort of side projects.
Mhm.
So if you have side projects, you can actually really stand out. And then after having side projects, then you will be able to have some interviews. And then the most important thing is passing those interviews.
Mhm.
So build couple side projects. Not the mistake that I had was I just spent too much time on building side projects. Like I did web development, mobile development, and all that stuff because I
Mhm.
wanted to get a really good job. And then I failed a lot of tech interviews, coding interviews, because I never really had practiced coding
Mhm.
interview. So just build couple side projects. It doesn't really need to be super fancy.
Mhm.
Get the interviews and just practice interviews a lot. Like
Mhm.
practicing interview is actually more kind of more important than your grade. Your grade matters,
Mhm.
um, but not as much as other industries. So
Mhm.
if you don't have any internship experience yet, grade matters. Um, but if you already have some internship experience and if you have a couple of side projects already, then like do more interview practice, do mock interview,
Mhm.
um, practice, review all of your data structures and algorithms, and
Mhm.
uh, by read, cracking the coding interview is classic. Go through the problems and organize what you solved and how you solved it, and then take a note on like time complexity and space complexity, and or subscribe my channel. I have some LeetCode um, problem questions video. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that
that's my advice.
you started like a YouTube channel talking about the process of becoming a software engineer, right? Can you
Right.
tell us about that? Why you started that and
Yeah, of
what's
course.
on your channel?
Of course. Yeah. So I started my YouTube channel like 2 months ago.
Mhm.
Um, I made it because a lot of my friends actually wanted to become a software engineer, and there wasn't really I mean there are a lot of tech YouTubers out there right now,
Mhm.
but like successful tech YouTubers tend to go to like a good school, work at FANG, and their advice and our views and their advice kind of sometimes mismatched, right?
How so?
So successful tech YouTubers,
Mhm.
they're really smart. Okay, they're very smart. They successfully landed a job at FANG. They went to really great
Mhm.
school, and they have successful side project, right?
Mhm.
They're exceptional individuals. Work extremely hard. But a lot of my friends had like family responsibilities.
Mhm.
So those exceptional individuals had a lot of time on their they could actually practice a lot, study a lot, and grind interviews skills, and really got the good job. And that's really great. But sometimes you have like family responsibilities. You can't really make that too much time. And also, I felt like a lot of these tech YouTubers also feel this culture of like you have to work at FANG. I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of people are creating those kind of environment, like the kind of like hierarchy. FANG people, maybe some like really successful startups, FANG and some other
Yeah.
companies. Like I feel like we're creating the kind of hierarchy. But in my channel, I want to talk about there are other really great companies other than FANG, and I want to talk about the kind of processes
Mhm.
to get those jobs. Because for some people, like getting those jobs as an engineer is like huge success. But if you keep just watching like FANG engineers talking about like how smart they are, like sometimes you feel like I'm not smart enough to become an engineer. I feel like I've seen some people who like really think they're not really smart enough, but I just wanted to change that. I want to say that you don't really need to work at FANG.
Mhm.
You can be a great engineers. There are a lot of great engineers that don't work at FANG,
Mhm.
and there are different types of interviews and requirements. A lot of times, the companies that I interviewed with, they didn't really have a coding interview sometimes, and their pay was great. You can have a good life, have a family at those
Mhm.
companies.
Mhm.
But I feel like there are not that many people talk about those kind of uh, aspects.
Mhm.
So I want to add some more uh, those kind of examples and cases.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think because, working as a software engineer in a FANG company is so sexy and so
Right.
glamorous. So those are the YouTube videos that eventually gets the most views, right? So that's
Right.
why they become like
Right.
these famous YouTubers too. But there are a lot of jobs for software engineers outside of FANG firms as well. And
Right.
there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of good people working there and a lot of ways to,
Mhm.
actually make a good living being a
Right.
software
Exactly.
engineer. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to show that. I want to show
Mm-hmm.
that there are different paths
Mm-hmm.
that are really good actually. I'm not working at FANG. I live in Midwest. I
Mm-hmm.
have a decent size, decent house. My wife is an also software engineer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, yeah, good. I have a son. I have a family here now, so we're
Mm-hmm.
living happy life. Uh, Work-life balance is great. So it's awesome actually.
Mm-hmm.
Coworkers are great. The projects that we're working on actually, um, I learn a lot of uh, engineering side of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all great. So I kind of want to show people that there are other good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, do you have any like future projects that you want to do besides your YouTube channel right now?
Oh, sorry.
Do you have any other side projects that you'd like to pursue in the future?
Yes. Um, I want to grow my YouTube channel first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want to have some online classes,
Mm-hmm.
boot camp, some sort of boot camp. There are a lot of online courses out there um, that are targeting like specific technologies. For example, like there's a front-end bootcamp and web developer bootcamp, mobile developer bootcamp. But I feel like they're focusing a lot on building projects,
Yeah.
but they're missing out some like data structure courses, algorithm courses, how you pass those actually technical interview kind of type of courses. So I want to have the courses where I have everything. You can take it. If you take it, you can learn, build side projects that you can show off to your recruiters. And I want to add data structures and algorithm that you need to pass on those coding interviews. So if you take it, like you have some sort of confidence on technical interview, because like this technical interview is hard.
Yeah.
And I want to solve it.
Yeah, for sure. So what is your YouTube username so that people who are interested in your videos can check you out?
So you can check out my YouTube channel by typing my name. It's Seho Lim, Seholim. Yeah, then
awesome.
The first one is mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I can attest to Sehos videos. They're very well made and they're very, very informational.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you so much for talking to me today, Seho. It was really great to learn from your experience, how you got your job in software engineering, what it's like being a software engineer in healthcare, and all your technical interview experiences.
Yeah, I'm glad I could, talk about this kind of stuff at your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.